I can't even have a conversation about like why the electric vehicle marketplace is simply not there in the United States of America without people turning around and just be like, you're rich. How about you see yourself out of this conversation? Wait, what? Tesla stock is crashing? Why would it? Wait, I don't get it. The one time it's not his fault? Like what? They reported a decrease in sales for the first time. Oh, Tesla Cybertruck sales are disastrous. Yeah, that makes sense. I was talking about this as well. No, Tesla stock is dropping today because the deliveries report was slightly lower than expected. Yeah, I think obviously Tesla deliveries report was always going. Tesla's reign was always going to end, okay? Especially because major car manufacturers all of a sudden turned around and were like, okay, we're going to start doing EVs as well. And what do you think is going to happen? Tesla's market dominance was due to, obviously, its charging technology and its ready availability, but also mostly because they had cornered the market that no one else wanted to tackle. Now, there are a couple problems with Tesla and EVs in general, okay? Number one is that because China is so dominant in the EV market and it's virtually impossible to compete with Chinese manufacturing in the EV market if you let them in on accident, they will overtake your domestic manufacturing. They will overtake Western manufacturers. Their cars are much cheaper and their electric vehicle fleets are literally cheaper. They're just as competitive, if not better, on some quality of life stuff as well. So that has created this weird situation where even though there are other domestic manufacturers, like big companies that are also moving into the EV direction, because of the dominance of China in the EV side of things, there is virtually no EV infrastructure still. There's not a lot of interest from Americans on it. There's simply not a lot of interest from the American consumer broadly in electric vehicles. Dude, EV prices are literally unaffordable for not rich people. No, what are you talking about? There are definitely solid, reliable, and cheaper alternative EVs. Like, look at the what is it? Hyundai and Kia have. What are you talking about? You're only looking at big ticket EVs. Like you're looking at, yeah, there's incredible Hyundai EVs out there that are fairly affordable, and Kias, I think, as well. Right? There are a bunch of affordable EVs out there. Yeah, the Ioniq is what I was thinking of. There's also tax rebates and stuff like that. You're coming from a different financial perspective. Please respect that. There's also being broke is cheaper if you're rich. I'm driving in a garbage can that needs to be plugged in. Okay. Dude, when I talk about the unaffordability of healthcare, I'm not talking about it from my own personal experience. Okay. Every piece of commentary that I engage in, I talk about across the board. If I exclusively gave you my own personal experiences with what I can afford and can't afford, then yeah, we would be having an entirely, there would be no reason for me to ever do commentary. I would tell you, America is the best nation on earth. Life is amazing here, okay? Because the United States of America is the greatest country on the planet if you're rich, okay? It is Disneyland. If you're wealthy, there's no issues. It's great. I'm talking about the broader consumer marketplace. Also, the thing is, secondhand EVs are insanely affordable. I'll give you an example. The Taycan I leased. At the point when I leased it, it wasn't even like the base model. It's like a higher level trim. I think it was a 4S. I leased the Taycan 4S. It was around $120,000 to $140,000. Okay, depending on whatever specs you had on it. That's an expensive car. A very expensive car, okay? Part of the reason why it's an expensive car is because it's a higher model, it's a higher trim, and also it's a top of the line, like it's a EV as well. So then there's also the additional price on top of that. Now, that's a 2022. It was a Taycan 4S 2022. The value of that car now is around $40,000 to $50,000. Now that's still incredibly costly. That's still very expensive. But think about how much it was devalued, okay? Think about how much the devaluation happened on a Porsche too. And Porsches are one of the few cars, depending on which kind of Porsche you get, where they keep their value relatively well. That is just the way EVs are. That's the EV market because it's so reliant on new technology coming in and it cycles out all of the older ones. So EVs depreciate dramatically. I'm sorry, but your privilege is showing. What? No, dude. Unless you're talking about my privilege being the fact that I can engage with the English language in a way that makes sense. It just simply doesn't make sense to you because you don't have the mental faculties to understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying a $50,000 electric vehicle is affordable. I'm saying electric vehicles, even at the highest level, depreciate dramatically in a matter of 2 years, even when it's a car manufacturer that usually is pretty, that usually maintains its price point fairly well in the secondhand market. It's not that I'm rich and out of touch. It's you're too stupid to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I can't do this every day. Dumbass shadows make me want to leave and never come back. Jesus Christ. I know. It's just so... I think it's just people just want to be heard. That's it. Okay. It's bait, bro. Please stop reading the haters' comments. Yeah. Anything like 30K becomes unaffordable for the regular person. I know that. I'm not talking about that. My point is, if take-ins are depreciating that much, then obviously secondhand electric vehicles that are significantly more affordable are also depreciating to a, maybe not to the same degree, but still to a fairly high degree. How the is it worth it if it depreciates so bad and you have to install a charger or spend $45 every morning charging the car? It just isn't affordable to anyone who makes a normal salary. Yes, this is the biggest problem with electric vehicles. The biggest problem with electric vehicles is that the infrastructure is not there for it. Chargers are not readily available. If you live in an apartment complex that doesn't have a charger, what are you supposed to do? And also on top of that, I would say that the 250 mile battery limit is fairly consistent across the board, and that understandably limits a lot of people's like capacity. It's not a problem for me because I don't go super long distances, and also I can charge overnight, and I can charge at my house. But the conversation and the back and forth that we're having right now is the reason why people just don't have a lot of interest in electric vehicles yet. Because one, battery and charging technology is not there yet where you could just like walk up to a battery station and charge it at the same speed as like an internal combustion engine, right? And secondly, they're not readily available anyway. It's super difficult to just like have accessible charging stations all around. So that's it. Isn't it mission to find spare parts too in case you need repairs? I don't know about that. That's my one gripe with you having a Taycan. You bought a long range fast charging EV and you don't even use it to go anywhere worthwhile. To be fair, you're going to get a lot of resale value if you just buy it out. No. For a more affordable example, on average, a Tesla Model 3 depreciates by 20 to 30% in the first year, retaining around 65 to 80% of its original value. You can't get one if you don't have access to a charger at home, but if you need more than 200 miles, rent a car. I don't know, man. Yeah, a 2020 Nissan Leaf in LA is $12K. If it's not worth it to buy an electric car, if the value depreciates that much, 100 plus K car depreciating by over 50% when you'll have much more left on a loan than the value in the car in 2 years. Wait, what? Yeah, bro, once again, like you said, if you're rich, just buy your own house charger, rich paradise. Oh my God. Yes, it is. I can't even have a conversation about like why the electric vehicle marketplace is simply not there in the United States of America without people turning around and just be like, you're rich. How about you see yourself out of this conversation? You could say that about anything. Why are you talking about trans people being marginalized? You're cis. It doesn't impact you. Why are you talking about the unaffordability of housing? You have a house. You're rich. It doesn't impact you. Why are you talking about like this is everything I talk about. Okay. Why are you talking about misogyny? You're a man. It doesn't impact you. What do you mean? I should just stop talking about it then. I should just tell you that everything is awesome. It's so weird. Everybody needs to calm down. But I think some of the reasons why Tesla was inevitably going to Tesla was no longer going to be able to pop off was because other major manufacturers got into the EV game, and I will admit that they are significantly better with their build quality. They have better bells and whistles, better manufacturing capabilities, and also better, like faster repairs in general. Part of that is low-key because of a good thing that Tesla did that turned out to be kind of a bad thing down the line. The good thing that Tesla did was cut out the auto dealership structure. Auto dealerships are some of the most corrupt. It's one of the most corrupt industries in this nation, okay? They are horrible. But having car dealerships means that there is a faster process of repairing cars. If Tesla had actually also had a pretty expedient repair process. If they had built an infrastructure for like faster repairs, I'm sure that they would have an easier time. That's not true. It almost has nothing to do with the dealership model. I don't know. I feel like that does have something to do with the dealership. That's really isn't true anymore. The internet's done a lot to keep dealers honest. You are wrong. You are wrong, but I guess it's because you also are a car salesman. So, of course, you are saying that. If I had one industry that I could just like wipe out like that, it would be the auto dealership. Like, obviously, it would be healthcare first, but it would probably be auto dealership. It would be private healthcare. Oh my God, cruise liners. That's another good one. There's so many. Oh, Airbnb. God damn it. There are so many awful, parasitic, truly bad industries out there. The thing that is really annoying about the auto dealership structure is that, like, at the point of purchase, it is one of the few sectors where you are purchasing a commodity where you just know you're getting shafted and there's nothing around it. Okay. Like, the very fact that there is a 10% additional cost above the sticker price, the MSRP, no matter what, is wild. Like, what other industry in the United States of America, and I say this as a Turkish man, okay? Turkish people haggle, especially in the bazaar. There is a haggle culture in Turkey. We do not have a haggle culture in the United States of America. However, the only sector in the United States of America where you are purchasing a large commodity where you have to sit there and get shellacked is purchasing a car, okay? When you're purchasing a car, you just sit there and you know that the person that is sitting in front of you is cooking you in very meaningful ways. That person is cooking you no matter what. You need a car, you're cooked.